For the first time since 2013, NASCAR is back at Rockingham Speedway. And today, the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series are laying down some laps to test. The speeds are fast, the drivers are excited. Let's go talk to them.
Yeah, I mean, they've actually done a really good job with the facility. It's a lot cleaner than I expected it to be. I feel like we could race on it today if we wanted to. A little disappointed that they paved it. I kind of liked it to be on the old asphalt, but it's got a lot of grip, a lot of speed. Hopefully it'll be similar to Wilkesboro was when they paved it and give it some multiple grooves, but we'll have to wait and see.
And you compared a little bit to North Wilkesboro, wanting to see if it's a little like that. Could you compare this track to any other that you've raced at, or is it its own animal?
I think this is going to be its own animal for the most part. It has a little bit of Dover tendencies for me from a driving style, as far as we're getting in the gas really early when the truck loads up. So, yeah, overall I think it's going to be its own animal. I think we're going to leave here next year, wanting to do some stuff different, but overall it's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of grip, a lot of speed here.
What's it like returning with this team, testing out Rockingham? How's the excitement?
It's super fun. I raced here in ARCA. Just ran one race here a long time ago, and it was a long time ago. But it's still similar characteristics, but track's got a lot of grip, a lot of speed. It's changing by the second. The weather's changing, so super fun, enjoying, kind of getting back in the swing of things here before we go to Daytona.
Are you a fan of the repave, how the track is behaving today?
I don't like it when they repave anywhere. I'm a big fan of just old wore-out racetracks, but I think this one's going to be pretty fun. I'm anxious to see how it races. I guess we're going to find out.
And then I would think that the energy that the fans today coming out for testing would amplify or excite you for this upcoming season. What is it like to see those fans coming in for testing?
It's pretty cool, especially for them to come out here and hang out at Rockingham, where not a lot of people's been, over the last few years. So cool to see. We were waving at them earlier while we were waiting on the track to dry, so it's cool to see all them people come out here, and hopefully we can pack this place out when we come back and race.
Being here at Rockingham today, an iconic track, what is that like to just be able to test here today and just be in the scene of it all?
Well, that's the one thing with the NASCAR series is you really don't get a lot of track time before the race. So the fact that we had a whole day, we've now lost half of it due to the wet track, but we'll still get a lot of laps. We'll get to work on a lot of things, try things for the first time, and see what works on the truck and doesn't. And but then even like the fact that we're gonna race here in April, so to just get familiar with it. Nobody's been here since 2013 racing, so excited. It seems like I don't want to say intimidating place, but super high bank. It's gonna be fast, so we'll see how it goes.
And Daytona is obviously such a really cool track to race at. What tracks have you not gone to that you're looking forward to this year?
There's way more that I haven't gone to that I've been to. I've only been to maybe 7 of the tracks that we're going to, so a lot will be new, but just gotta prep outside the car, away from the track, in the simulator, working at the Ford Performance Technical Center, looking at tape, all that kind of stuff, anything I can just to prep so when we show up we're ready to go. But really until I'm there, there's no way to really learn it until you're there. So just ready to come prepared.
Yeah, I've got a pole here in trucks, and I also ran my second Truck Series start here in 2012. So I've raced here 2 times at the Rock. I've actually been in victory lane here with my dad when he won the 95 Cup race. So Rockingham's a really special place for the Burtons, and we were 9th fastest that last practice, and I feel like we're going to be able to make our car a little bit better. So hopefully when we come back here to the Rock, we'll be ready to try to win a race.
What's it like being back here at this track?
It's just so much history here, especially for me and my family, but just, the fans, there's 150 fans sitting in the stands on a Wednesday afternoon, just wanting to see us test at Rockingham. So it's pretty special to be here. This track is fast. I wish they wouldn't have repaved it, but I know they had to do some things to get us back. So the bumps are still there and the character, just wish we could lose more grip faster.
All right, we're here with Matt Mills. Matt, what is it like to be working with this team for another year and just the success that this organization has had?
It's to come into, we had a rough year last year, so we know the do's and don'ts of what we had, things we needed to work on, myself included. I had to relearn, most of my history was in the Xfinity Series, so I almost had to relearn the racing craft and the aggression side over here in the Truck Series. So just get that second year, things should come a little bit more fluid, and working with same team and having the same support of JF Electric and everyone. It it's a lot more of a comfortable feeling coming into this year than going into last year.
And what does that work over the off season look like for you as you try to prep to have a better year?
Yeah, I mean, so Homestead, that was a recovery process itself last year, being in the hospital a couple of days. So I had to I was ready to get to the end of the season just to recoup completely from that. But going into the off season, working with Josh Wise program, working out, starting new training, do sim. And this is the first for me being able to test here at Rockingham. I've never got to do a test before, so this is pretty cool and something to take advantage of. Having Ross here in the truck today really helps. Just bounce feedback off. He's worked with Mike Shiplett in the past. So it's really cool just using all the tools that we can right now.
Yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. I'm new to the truck series with Thor Sport Racing, and I'm just excited to be here. Excited to experience Rockingham. A lot of history here. A lot of cool races that I watched in the past. So it's a lot of fun here. I'm having a blast, and we got a good race truck right now. So it's a lot of fun working with these 66 guys.
And what has it been like working with this team, a championship winning team?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, you have 3 champions. You have all the experienced drivers, right? And Ty from Wisconsin. So it's just it's a good click, right? Our sponsors all align, and everything is clicking right now. So I'm happy to be here, happy to have this opportunity, and hope we can keep on building on it.
Here with Lane Riggs. Lane, what is it like being back at Rockingham?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, this is a place that my dad raced at a long time ago. I mean, I've seen pictures of me here at the racetrack with him back when I was a little thing. I got to run a few laps here in the late model stock when they were going to try to have a Cars Tour race here, and we did a lot of tire testing and could never find one that could hold up to the old asphalt. But now to be back, fresh asphalt, you got the Xfinity and the Truck Series here. It's really cool. They've done a great job with the facility. This is somewhere that's pretty close to home for everybody, and you can call it a home track type race. So I'm glad that they revived the place.
And how was your experience at the short track level, including at this track in the past, helping you as you try to figure out what the setup is like in the truck?
I feel like it's more of a 1.5 mile style track, especially being so fast today. It's just really gripped up with all the rubber. I hadn't been on the track yet. My teammate Chandler Smith, he's been running the lap so far. Right after I get a little lunch here, we're gonna put me in it and try it out. But yeah, I mean, I love this track on iRacing. It's one of my favorite tracks on there. I've always been good. And the late model here was so much fun. It's got a lot of character. They took a lot of it out with the surface itself, with the repave, but the basic shape and some of the big swells and bumps are still here. So it's going to be a handful behind the wheel, but that's what I like the challenge for sure.
It started kind of ticking off the wins last year. What's the expectation going into this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think anything short of being in the championship 4 and fighting for the big trophy at the end of the season is going to be I wouldn't say disappointment, but not to what our goals should be and what we should be accomplishing. To win in the playoffs last year and not be in them was disappointing, because I mean that showed that I think if we would have pointed our way into the playoffs, we could have even been in the Final Four. I mean, I hadn't done the math, but I feel like we would have been. So to be our rookie season and already have that potential, now sophomore season, hopefully it's a regular athlete sophomore season, you come out with a bang and you put all the rookie blues behind you.
All right, here with Chandler Smith, racing for Front Row Motorsports this year. How exciting is it to be with this team to start off the season?
It's very exciting. We had my deal done late last year, but didn't really know if I was going to be in a truck or cup car, what it was going to be, and got the call around late December, hey, we're going truck race. So it's been a thrash of an off season trying to put personnel together, crew chief, truck chief, mechanics, engineers. And man, I was so excited to get out here and just work with my new group and everybody at Front Row Motorsports. And man, our trucks are really nice. They're really nice. So I'm looking forward to the season.
And to know that you are in championship caliber equipment, how much confidence does that give you going into a season with a new team?
Yeah, it gives me a ton. It gives me a ton to know that I can look at our notebook and know it's reliable.
And then being back at Rockingham, what does that mean to you to be at this iconic track?
I think it means more to me to be able to test. I missed this, like testing. Granted, everybody was kind of whatever, was saying we're wasting time because we're driving the track, but hey, we're testing. I'm here for it. Let's do 2 more days of it. So yeah, it's cool being here at Rockingham. I live just up the road from here in Asheboro, North Carolina too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to racing on Easter weekend here.
So, tell me about how it was racing on this track, doing some test laps. What did you notice?
It is extremely fast. I was not really expecting it,
and it's definitely going to be a long race. If we're going as fast as we are right now, we're about a solid 6/10 faster than the Xfinity cars right now. So it's really fast. Like I can tell you, I can lift probably at the steel over here, which is already almost in the corner, and I'm back to it about within a car length or two, and it's wide open. And same thing down in 3 and 4. So it's extremely fast, but it's a lot of fun. So we're going to continue to work on our 45 truck and continue to go fast as we possibly can to learn as much as we can when we come back here in April.
And with your extensive short track background, can you compare Rockingham to any other track you've been to, or is it its own beast?
It's definitely its own beast right now. If I can compare it to Atlanta, honestly, I compare it to Atlanta for how fast we're going around here. So, I mean, I'm looking at data, and we're almost going 115, 120 miles an hour, like before we even get to the center of the corner. So, it's going really fast around here, and it's going to continue to get faster, especially with all the rubber we'll have with Xfinity cars and ARCA cars when we come back here in April. So, we're going to continue to work on it, build forward, and see if we can continue to improve. But yeah, I can tell you the Rocket's its own beast right now.
And talk to me about how it's been to race at the truck series level with Nice Motorsports. What has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, it's very blessed and grateful for the opportunity I've gotten from Cody and Elizabeth and Jason at Precision, Josh at Detroit Mass Dow. It's been awesome. The part season we had this last year was really good. We built on a lot of good things, and we were in a position to win at least 2 or 3 races last year. So just having that part-time season and doing that and going into our full-time season this year, I'm extremely excited to work with Phil and everyone on this 45 camp to be championship contenders hopefully in 2025.
What has it been like getting to test at Rockingham and kind of starting to get to learn the inner workings of junior motorsports full time?
Yeah, it's a pretty big opportunity for all of us, really. We really don't get a whole lot of track time nowadays in this series, and anytime we can get on track, it just helps out the drivers, the crews, and everything else. So getting on track today is going to be a big help for us coming here later in the year, and hopefully we can learn some stuff and be a little more prepared coming later.
And with your extensive short track background, what is it like coming to this track that's so iconic?
Yeah, I'm really excited to get back here. I was really happy to see they added it to the schedule. For me, it's one of those tracks that kind of, I guess, more suits me rather than some other ones we go to. So pretty excited to come here. I feel like we should be able to run good, and we'll see how today goes.
Can you compare this track to any other that you've raced at, or is it kind of its own thing?
It's kind of its own thing, honestly. I mean, it's quite different, really, from end to end. And I mean, there's some tracks like Dover or Charlotte that kind of come to mind, but there's really nothing that runs parallel with this place.
What's the experience of being here at Rockingham, such an iconic track?
Yeah, it's awesome. This place obviously has a lot of history in this sport, and it's gonna be really cool to bring it back, kind of like North Wilkesboro and places like that. So it's always cool to bring a place back to life like this, and I'm excited to race here in a few months.
Have you been surprised with how fast the track has raced so far today?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't driven yet, but it seems fast, and obviously with new pavement, it's high grip and high banks, so I'm excited to get on it and really feel it out. But yeah, it's definitely faster than I think everyone expected.
And how helpful has it been, even though you haven't been on the track yet, to hear from your teammates ahead of time of what they're feeling, what they're thinking?
Yeah, it's obviously helpful, but I'm going to learn the most when I get out there myself. But yeah, obviously Justin has a lot of experience, and we're sharing a car, so that's going to be really good for me to feel what he feels and kind of compare our notes in the same car.
And then going to the Cup side of things real quick, with Red Bull Racing, or Red Bull announcing that they're partnering with you for your Cup Series debut, how exciting is that you'll be making that at COTA?
Yeah, it's awesome. COTA's a really good track for me, and to make my Cup Series debut at 18 is really cool as well. Wouldn't be possible without Trackhouse and Red Bull. It takes a lot of people to make a Cup race happen, so I'm excited for that. It's going to be a new opportunity for me, a new challenge. Definitely going to be hard. Everybody says how hard the Cup Series is, so I'm just looking forward to going out and learning as much as I can and just having fun.
Rookie season, what's it like being able to test at Rockingham to try to start off your year on the high note?
Yeah, it's been fun testing with the 48 group. And yeah, it's my first real NASCAR test, so it's nice to just have a day. Well, now 2 days, we have tomorrow, so just a lot that I'm learning. New car, you know, some new team members since I was last on the team in 2022, and I think it's been good so far. So still got a ways to go with the race car, but I think we'll end up just fine.
Are you surprised with how fast this track has raced so far today, especially with the repave?
Yeah, it's about a little bit over a second faster than what we projected, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I love going fast in a race car, and I feel like this place is one of the faster tracks I've been to, so I love it.
What's it like being at Rockingham, this iconic track?
I'm going to be honest, I'm probably too young to realize, you know, the iconic nature of this place, but it's definitely cool. It's a track that I never really thought we'd race at again. I know I think the last race here was over 10 years ago, so it's been a while, but it's cool to be back.
So Taylor, full-time with Joe Gibbs Racing this year, with a car that one of your friends owns. How has that been walking into this role?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. Obviously, you know, me and Ty have been best friends since I was 8 years old, so it's cool to kind of see the worlds kind of collide a little bit, and then to be able to race for him as registered as my team owner. Obviously still under Joe Gibbs Racing, but him as my team owner and him owning the 54 has been pretty cool, and being able to run the 54 and to be able to, you know, try and go have a lot of success with it. It's got a lot of history behind it. It's been pretty cool to me.
And then talk about just having the honor of running for this historic team, a team that captured so many wins last year, walking into your first full-time season in Xfinity.
Yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence, right? I mean, such a good organization. They've been around forever, and they win races, right? That's the motto. It's one team, and we're going to go win races, and we're going to go compete for wins every week. So it gives me a lot of confidence going to the racetrack, and sure makes me excited.
How has it been being back at Rockingham, seeing the fans in the stands and just being out on track?
It's been really cool. I used to, my dad with the drag racing team used to go test at the drag strip all the time, so I'm pretty familiar with being around here. So it's cool to see this place back running, and it's been really fun so far.
What is it like to be back, one, here, and then two, in the Xfinity Series?
Yeah, it's great to be back. It's, you know, pretty cool to drive around the track. It's been some years since I was in a NASCAR, so yeah, it felt really good going around here. The track's much different with the grip, the repave, the smooth. It's much smoother, but it's still Rockingham, and you still have some of those feelings. So it's yeah, it was really nice being here today and making laps.
How has it been seeing the fans in the stands for a test day of all things?
Yeah, I saw some off turn 4. There's a group up there, which was pretty cool. This track has to me a lot of history. You know, when I first started, I raced here a bit more. I raced one Cup race and some Xfinity races back then, and then watched a ton before that, before I was in NASCAR. So yeah, it's a really neat track and much different with the repave, but we're trying to figure it out.
What's your favorite moment from this track? Is it the win? Is it something else?
I'd say the win was great. You know, to do that, I raced Friday and Saturday in Texas, and then I think the Xfinity and the Cup race, and then came here Sunday and started in the back. Brad Sweet qualified the truck, and then I had to start in the back in it and won that. So that was pretty awesome. My first Busch Series race, Xfinity race, was here in 2002, and I remember that really well. And the longer runs I'd get going, the short runs wasn't as good, but just trying to understand it and learn it. And then, you know, coming really close to winning the Cup race with Matt Kenseth. He beat me by a couple feet in 2004 when I was in the race for Rockingham. So that was a really memorable race as well. We qualified well and we're up front that whole Cup race, which, you know, that was my second race. So it was that was pretty cool.
And hoping to create more memories with the RCR car this year in the Xfinity Series. How is that partnering with Richard Childress Racing with the backing from HendrickCars.com?
Really good. It's been, you know, we threw it together pretty quickly. Richard and the team did, Keith Rodden, Andy Street, like the whole group has done a great job of, you know, preparing it, and I have a really good car here for this test, and this will be the car we race as well. Really good Chevrolet. So yeah, it's a good group. I didn't race for RCR. I was up there a few times over the years. Richard was one of the first guys to get me down to kind of the NASCAR and you know, go through his shop and things clear back in 2001 1 or 2. So, I mean, that's a long time ago. And that was, Richard was the first owner to have me around. So I was, it's neat to be able to race for him years later.
And then focusing, of course, on the High Limit Series this year, but what was the decision like to come back to NASCAR? Why now?
When they put this on the schedule, I was like, man, I haven't done it in 6 years. I could probably figure it out and, have some fun. Just really wanted to do another race and enjoy it. I loved this. I put everything I had into NASCAR for a long time. So, just to do another one was great. It was something, when I saw it on the schedule, I was like, man, that is a great track, somewhere I, could run well and understand pretty well. So to come here and then they repaved it. I didn't realize that at the time, but it's definitely changed it up. But it still feels really good and pretty comfortable straight away. And and then high limits. Other than that, I still enjoy sprint cars. So I still just am really into racing, and whether it's driving or owning the cars and being close to it, watching the race. I watch every NASCAR race and racing a lot of dirt races. So just being close to it, still enjoy it a lot.
With testing wrapped up and new stats in their notebooks, these drivers are ready for their return to the Rock on April 18th and 19th.